Hey, folks. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We're going to do something a little different right now. We're going to do Zorba. Zorba's he's a voracious reader, I would say. He takes in a lot of books in a year. And he's going to tell us his holiday gift-giving book guide, some of his favorite books, right?
Bah, humbug. Scrooge never read. His books were the way of counting his money and his money share. But actually, books are really an important thing. So I've got a few ideas of what you could look in terms of books that really would be good, that I really like. And I really love books. So one of the things you may want to look at are Jeff Kinney's Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That series, I think, is up to like 20 books now.
My kids read those. They love them.
They're great. They're a great way to read with your kids. I love reading them too. They're really
funny.
a good series of books. Very, very funny. His latest book, The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Party Pooper, happens to be around right now.
Just
that looks
got
like
that
it's
for Otis.
Really fun. And while we're on kids, there's a great book. Dave Eggers, who is this incredible writer that I followed for a number of years. In the year 2000, he wrote a book called The Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius, and it was written for adult readers, and it was a memoir of his life, including how both his parents died while he was in college, and he was the guardian for his 8-year-old brother, and it was nominated for the Pulitzer. I don't know if it won it, but he's a great writer. But he has a new book called Her Right Foot. And it's a storybook for children and adults about the Statue of Liberty. Oh. And it turns out her right foot, the Statue of Liberty is not just standing there. With her right foot, she's actually moving. And she has chains on her right foot that she has broken. So she has broken the chains of slavery that I never realized, and she's moving forward to actually welcome the immigrants into this country. And if you have any idea about immigrants and you heard about immigration, I think it's really worthwhile. It's a very short book, but it's absolutely incredible. Then The Correspondent, a novel I recently read by Virginia Evans, plot centers on a woman who tracks her life through her letters. I could not put it down. Half my books are on Audible, and the voices were fantastic.
Oh, nice.
If you're an Ian McEwan person, Atonement was a great movie, and that was his great book. He has a new book, What We Can Know, which I think is great. I loved it. James Clear wrote a book, Atomic Habits, an easy, proven way to build your good habits. I love self-help books. I wrote my self-help book, The Longevity Code, Your Personal Prescription for a Longer, Sweeter Life. So I'm always into the self-help genre. If you're into history, I finished Henry V, The Astonishing Triumph of England's Greatest Warrior King by Dan Jones. Kind of a long book with lots of names in it, but if you like English history, it's good. All the Beauty in the World, the Metropolitan Museum of Art and Me. And my girlfriend, Deirdre, that was one of the books. When I first met her, I said, "What are you reading?" And she was reading this book by Pat Bringley. And I thought, gee, she looks like an interesting person. I'll read this book. And the reality of the book was interesting, and she's still my girlfriend. So obviously, it was a good read. If you're in a crime fiction, Viper's Dream by Jake Lamar is great. It won the Dagger Award in the UK, and he's an American writer living in Paris. It's fabulous. If you like a book about sex, drugs, rock and roll, and corruption,
oh, sure,
this is right up your alley. If you're a Puritan, don't go down that street. Go down a different street.
Do the Scarlet Letter, maybe.
That's right. Biography, Source Codes by Bill Gates. I read biography. That was good. Lorne, this is by Lorne, the man who invented Saturday Night Live by
Lorne
Susan
Michaels.
Morrison.
Yeah.
Lorne Michaels, he is great. And once again, you got Bill Gates on one side, Lorne Michaels on the other side. Years ago, Colin Jost wrote A Very Punchable Face.
Yeah.
That was a really pretty book. Did you think it was a punchable face?
I don't think he has a punchable face.
It's just,
yeah.
Very, it's very, very strange. Glory Days, a funny thing by Simon Rich. Queen of All Mayhem, which is about women in the Jesse James gang, the blood-soaked life and mysterious woman of Belle Starr. Joy Anyway, interesting. Transforming Adversity Through Audacious Love by Jan Horath. I attended a workshop presented by her when I was at my Dude Ranch this summer. For anyone looking to transform their life, I would recommend giving them a read. And then there's a wonderful book. There's a guy, Ryan Holiday, who wrote The Daily Stoic, and he's sort of a modern philosopher. And this book is for any dad. I think I'm sitting across from a dad.
This
I think
book,
he's going to comment on this.
Yeah, so Zorba, you recommended this book to me. First of all, I don't read a lot of books at all.
Because you have 2 children.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's a lazy thing to say for me is like, I don't have time to read. I have time to read. It's just like prioritizing the time, making it happen. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying more. This might be one of my New Year's resolutions is try to read more books. So I don't read many books, but you recommended this book by Ryan Holiday, The Daily Dad, 366 Meditations on Parenting, Love, and Raising Great Kids. So I recently picked it up. I'm just getting started on it, so I haven't gotten too deep into it yet, but it's really digestible. It's really easy. It's basically every day has a new little entry about parenting and different wisdom. I'm just going to choose one. This one's titled, They Do Most of It. When the comedian Pete Holmes heard that Mitch Hurwitz, the creator of Arrested Development, had 2 daughters who were both in their 20s, he congratulated him. You did it, he said, acknowledging that his friend had made it through the gauntlet, successfully raising 2 daughters to adulthood. But Hurwitz refused to take the compliment. You know, he joked, they did most of it, which is true. As we've said before, while being a parent is incredibly important, we're not nearly as important as we think we are. Mm-hmm. We do our best to set a good example. They do most of the work. As hard as our job is, they have it way harder. Don't you remember being 10 or 15 or 20? Don't you remember being a kid? Probably because you were so busy literally developing a brain. So yes, it's amazing to see what they've become and what they've done. Just remember that they get the credit and you get the blame. That one's good. That one jumped out. It's funny. It reminded me of something my 10-year-old son says to me. Every once in a while, if I'm really kind of coming down hard on him, he'll remind me. He'll say, Dad, you do realize I'm a kid, right? Like he loves using that like he'll employ that at the perfect moment. And I'll be like, oh, that hurt. Right. Oh, you got me. Anyway, so that's
it's a great book. Yeah, it's The Daily Dad by Ryan Holiday. He's really good. He wrote The Daily Stoic, which I have, and The Obstacle is the Way. He's a modern philosopher. He translates Greek and Roman philosophy into really understanding. He's got a great insight. I would recommend The Daily Dad to anyone who is a dad. And frankly, it really works for moms too.
Of course.
It's not just the Daily
general
Dad.
Parenting tips.
It's the general parenting tips for you.
Yeah.
They're not they're parenting. Actually, they're children parenting the dad and the mom.
It goes both ways, right?
It does.
It really does. Okay, like I said, Zorba, I don't read that many books, so I was trying to come up with ideas here for this little segment. How about I just say a couple of my favorite movies that I saw this past year? You saw, actually, I'm going to ask you first, off the top of your head. Did anything jump out at you?
Spirited. I just saw Spirited, which was great.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a musical with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell.
I didn't see that.
It's fabulous.
Okay.
It's the 3rd time I've seen it.
Okay.
It's the Scrooge taken to a different way. I mean, that's the one that comes into my mind. Spirit is really good.
I will give a new one and an old one. So I just one of my absolute all-time favorite movies. I watch it every Thanksgiving. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Steve Martin, John Candy. Funny. John Candy's my all-time favorite actor. I've been talking this movie up forever to my kids for years. So I thought, all right, I think they're old enough. I can watch. I think it's rated R because of one scene where they drop a lot of F-bombs. But it's mostly probably a PG-13 movie. But we sat down a couple weeks ago and just did the whole thing, watched the whole thing, and it was a great experience with the kids.
They liked
watching.
it.
They loved it. I mean, I think it's a movie from the mid 80s, so it's slower than they're used to, like it's different. So there were times where they were kind of like looking around, like when's the next action scene or whatever, But you should watch it again if you haven't seen that in a long time. It is one of the greatest comedies, I think. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And then I saw a movie, my wife and I watched this a couple of weeks ago. It's a newer movie. It's on Netflix. It's called Train Dreams. Have you heard of this at all?
No.
Okay. The less you know about this, the better. So I'll be very vague. It's, first of all, one of the most beautiful movies I've seen in many, many years. One of my favorite movies I've seen in many, many years. It follows like a turn-of-the-century logger in the Pacific Northwest and just his life and the things that happened to him. And it's this very kind of pretty, I don't want to say slow, but it's a very paced, kind of a meditative movie about how the world is changing around that time, like the advent of the railroad. He's helping build the railroad, and then the automobile. And it's different points in his life it shows. And there's loss, there's grief, there's parenting stuff. And I think everyone who sees this movie from a different age will probably see different things. Like me in mid-age parenting, I saw a lot. I really like keyed in on the parenting stuff. Someone who is older than me would probably think more about the legacy things that are involved in it. But it was just an absolutely beautiful movie. I cannot recommend it higher.
The name of it again?
Train Dreams.
Train Dreams.
On Netflix.
Sounds
it's a great one. So those are my movies. I know this is a book thing, but I did movies.
Happy holidays, everyone.
I should read more books.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. All right. Take care. Thanks for listening. And
stay well.